Hey guys, so today we're going to learn about how to find the distance between 2 points. This time we're not going to use it by using the Pythagorean theorem, but we are going to be using the distance formula. So distance equals the square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. The x2 and y2 and x1, y2, that should look familiar from when we found the slope between 2 points. Very similar steps. So step 1 is to label x1, y1, and x2, y2. So just labeling our points so we know what to do. So this is going to be x1, y1, x2, and y2. Step number 2 is going to be plug into the equation. Plug into the equation. So this is where usually I would ask you guys to have a pen and paper. Make sure you're following along and writing down, especially when you do the Google form, because you will need to be able to do those steps. So distance equals the square root, and I'm going to go x2, which is over here, is 12, minus x1, which is 6, squared, plus y2, which is 32, whoops, not plus, minus negative 3 squared. Don't forget order of operations, and that's how we're going to solve this. So distance equals, don't let this scare you, just take it little bit by little bit. 12 minus 6 is 6 squared, plus 32 minus negative 3 is 35 squared. So then we get the distance equals the square root. 6 squared is 36, plus 35 squared is 1,225. Add those together, you get distance equals the square root of 1,261. So you get distance equals 35.51. In your calculator, you're going to get distance equals 35.5105 ... It's going to go on forever. It's irrational. So we're going to underline the number in the hundreds, circle the number in the thousands. This is telling us to stay or to go up. This tells us to stay the same, so everything goes away. So our distance between those 2 points is 35.51. Let's do another example. This one's a little bit different because this time you aren't given the points, you're given a graph. So first step is now to find the point. So I'm going to find this point first. And this is 3, 2. Your next point is 2, negative 5. Remember, our step 1 is telling us to label. So x1, y1, x2, and y2. There we go. And then it tells us to plug it into the formula. So distance equals the square root. X2 is right here. It's 2 minus 3 squared plus y2 is negative 5 minus 2 squared. Use the order of operations. So distance equals the square root of negative 1 squared plus negative 7 squared. Distance equals the square root of 1 plus 49. Distance equals the square root of 50. You put that in your calculator and you get distance equals 7.07. So in your calculator, you're going to get an irrational number. So it's going to be 7.071 ... Look at that one, tells us it stays the same. So the distance between this point and this point is 7.07. If you guys have questions, please let me know. Please make sure you guys are writing this down.